Time for a gear video. So, welcome finally to my gear videos. I'll be doing a few, I'll try and put it together as far as like different groupings, and I'll also be discussing what worked for me, what didn't work for me, what I have planned for 2020. Yeah, so anyway, we might as well just get started. I'm going to start with the tents. I was lucky enough to make a really good choice in the beginning of my Big Agnes Copper Spur 2 UL, Copper Spur UL 2. It was, I ended up taking the poles and stakes out and putting them in a different place in my pack, because this part right here, it's amazing how this can just scrunch down into your pack anywhere, and it gets pretty little once you get it all smashed in there. And I actually had it all together, but like I said, I ended up separating it out, and it worked out really well because the poles balanced with my umbrella on each side of the pack, so that was good. So the thing about the, let me get my glasses on. The UL2, okay, it's 2.9 square feet. It's 40 inches high. It is a 3-season tent. Some of the things I liked about it is that it had 2 doors, one on each side, so it didn't limit you to where, like if you wanted to put your tent up here, you didn't have to worry about, oh God, I got to turn it around here. It's also a little bit wider on one end than the other, and then the rain fly goes over, and it's got an additional 2 vestibules as well. And sometimes I would just keep the one open at night so I could look out and see that sunrise before I went back to sleep. The zippers work really well. Now this is the Classic. I haven't seen the what the difference is between the Classic and the regular, but this is one of the items that I will be changing out for my 2020 hike finish hike. I'm going to be changing out to the Tiger Wall. I'm going to be switching out to the I think it's called the Platinum, and I'm going to be saving. I'm going from 3.1 pounds to 2.5 pounds, so I'm going to be saving about 6-7 ounces, almost a half a pound, just on my tent, and I'm still going to have the comfort of the tent. There's a lot of ultralight tents. You can choose anything. Again, I will say, you'll hear me say this a lot, is that whatever works for you. I'm old and I need comfort. But once I got in my tent at night, it was just like my little kingdom in there. I just loved it. Everything had its spot, and it was really nice and comfortable. And it was so comfortable that I'd lay down and I wouldn't cook dinner because I just wanted to go to sleep. But anyway, what was I going to tell you about the, so talking to all different hikers on the trail, you'd hear different things, if anybody ever said, I love my tent, you know that they had a Big Agnes tent. Isn't that funny? Because I would ask different people on the trail why they liked tents, why they didn't. I think it was Ohondo. He had the Z-Packs ultralight, which is fine for ultralight. You just have to be careful where you set things, because what happened was it's got this bathtub that comes up a little bit, and some wind caught under it and threw up his battery pack and hit him in the face. So he ended up getting another tent. But it's ultralight. So if you're an ultralighter, I highly recommend Z-Packs. And I guess it's comfortable too. I don't know. I can only tell you what I experienced. And I experienced Big Agnes, and I will be getting a Big Agnes Tiger Wall Platinum before I go on the trail. The next thing on the list for sleeping is I ended up with another Big Agnes product, the Q-Core. This sleeping pad, it weighs 15 ounces. I started with a REI Flash, which I loved. I've been using that for camping for about a year. Very comfortable, insulated. That's really important to get an insulated pad, I think. And very comfortable. That one was only 21 breaths per blow up. But somewhere along the line it got a hole in it. I still have it. I'm going to check it and see. But in the meantime, when I got to Warner Springs, I picked up this Q-Core. and it has the two valves, the quick release and where you blow up at and then do it. But one of the things, this is my second one, because what happened, and it's actually starting to happen again, this deflate valve, I'm having a hard time pushing it. When I first got it, it just popped right in, but now all of a sudden it's just really hard to push in. And additionally, it's hard to pull out. I almost pulled half my teeth out trying to open up the last one. And now this one, so I need to ask Big Agnes. They replaced it for me immediately when I told them the problem. I even had strong people try to help open it, but it's happening again. But anyway, that being said, it won't keep me from keeping this mattress unless I figure something else that's just as comfortable and go lighter and just as durable, because I love this. Do you like the color, darling? But anyway, there's a couple more things about this. On the outside runs, because when it blows up, it's like the long, like a pool float. The outside is called I-beam technology, so the ones on the outside are a little bit bigger than the ones in the center, and supposedly that keeps you from rolling out of the mattress. So, and I get it, but the thing about inflatables is that, and I learned this, is that you don't blow them up all the way. If you blow them up all the way, it's like trying to sleep on a balloon. It becomes very hard, and then you will roll off. But I blow mine up just enough to where, like, if I sit on it, I can feel the bottom, the ground. But when I lay on it, it evenly distributes, and your body it just sinks into this wonderful softness of a mattress. This makes it so comfortable when you get in at night. Heaven. Okay, so that's the mattress. Next, sleeping bag. This will be my third sleeping bag. I started out, but I never got to use it on the trail. I had a Magnum 17, and in fact, my daughter gave me hers to go back to. Okay, next is the Magnum 17. It is 2.4 pounds, and lots of loft. It is, I think it's a 3-season, but it has the little collar here, and it's a mummy. And what I loved about my Magnum, let's see, is the zippers. Oh my God, the zippers. The zippers are just like butter. They just go up and down with no problem. So if you have any emergencies in the night, you can get out quickly. Anyway, I switched that one to a Nemo Rave because right before I left, and I don't have it with me right now, my daughter's got it, I switched a Nemo Rave spoon, and what immediately attracted me, I saw it like, I go, oh my God, it's perfect. It's a little bit wider rounded. It's for those of you who are, I call jet betters, where you just gotta kind of stretch your leg. So it was a little bit heavier, 3.3 pounds and 4 ounces. And I'm going, it's just a few ounces. I kept saying that in the beginning. Oh, that's just a few ounces. The bag was absolutely amazing. You have plenty of room to run around in it. But I noticed some things right off the bat that didn't work for me on the trail. Number one, it was heavier. As time went on, I felt the weight of that bag because I'm old. I'll say that a lot. I should just put a thing right down at the bottom. Extremely comfortable. It had little vents, to open up if you got too hot. And then it had this amazing, they call it the little blanket thing, like the other bags had the little collar. This has a little blanket that folds up over it, and that thing, it's just so soft and wonderful, and you just cuddle up to that thing at night, and it was great. The zipper, another situation. The zipper, you just want to make sure that if you needed to get out quickly, that you started early. I had lots of problems with the zipper. It was always, there's an extra line of fabric in it. I'm not exactly sure what that was for, but it was always catching in that and go catch. So somebody on the trail showed me that if you put the handles down and then you pull it this way, then you got a 99% chance of getting a smooth zip and then going the other way. And I love the bag, and I will keep it for camping, but for backpacking, for me, I switched to another REI product, and this one right here. It is the Magnum, and I kept it packed up so you can see the size, but as most of you know, when you have a sleeping bag or any down product, never store it compressed, because you want to keep the loft in it. If you keep it compressed, the loft loses its memory to get big. I don't know what that's all about. Some engineer can tell you, or some scientist. But anyway, you can see now I have the REI Magnum 30, and I can hold it up with my little finger. It weighs 1 pound 6 ounces. So I've actually lost 2 pounds. Thank you very much. Going from the bag that I was last using on the trail to this is the bag that I'll be using. And hopefully it will be warm enough. But there was a few nights on the trail where I did actually get cold, and I ended up using my couple of my little hot hands. I always had those available, and mostly it was because I accidentally got wet. So I was sleeping in wetness, and I had to sleep one night. I had to sleep in my rain gear because that was the only dry thing that I had, including most of my sleeping bag. But if you watch the videos, you'll see that story. But anyway, so this is my new bag. Lost 2 pounds right there. Woo! Okay, enough of that. Okay, next, my pillow. This is my little Arrows pillow. And let me see how much this thing weighs. It weighs 1.9 ounce. And I always kept the pillow in the little bag. I can't get it out. But this is my pillow. And again, this is a Sea to Summit. Yeah, the left. And it takes what? I blow it up. But it has the technology again where you start blowing it up. I forgot to do the one thing. And then it doesn't blow, you're not trying to blow up an air escaping. So again, I wouldn't do it fully, so I'd have a nice soft pillow to lay on. Inflatables, don't blow them up all the way. Because, look. For those of you who like a firm pillow, there's your balloon. All right, so that's my pillow. That's my sleeping bag, my mattress, and my pillow. All right, so enough of that. Oh, I forgot to say one thing about my copper spur tent, and I'm sure most of their tents have this. I didn't realize this until after the second time I put my tent up, and people laughed at me because I never even opened up my tent or put it up until my first night on the trail. Well, I actually opened it up. I did make sure that there were stakes in there, and I did replace my stakes, and it worked out because another gal needed stakes. When I first started on the trail, I accidentally had 2 sets of stakes. No wonder my pack was so heavy, but I ended up giving her those, but I had already gone and purchased some new stakes that these worked amazing because they're lighter, they're titanium, and they're much lighter, so I saved a little weight there. And but the other thing that I realized, and somebody pointed out to me when they were helping me, I was setting up, because part of the where I was setting up my camp was on a big rock, and then part of it was on dirt. So another reason that I like the freestanding tent, because, and I don't think I mentioned that, Big Agnes, the copper spur, and I think most of the tents are freestanding, so you don't have to stake them down. I always staked it down because half the time I was in storms and weather. But the other thing is they're color coded. And I didn't realize I put it, and I'm going, okay, that's wider, that goes here. And now one guy goes, oh, look it, they're color coded. The orange goes in the orange, and I'm going, yeah, I knew that. So that's just another thing that makes it easier for you. And I always kept everything, kind of organized. The only time I lost a stake was when I was camping along the aqueduct, and every night big wind would come up, but it flipped up I didn't have it staked down enough. The vegetable popped up, and the stake went flying. I have no idea. I looked around for quite a bit that morning, and I didn't find it. I had also a couple extra stakes that I had found, because what happens is you find stakes a lot, so I just throw them in the pack and then leave them at the next hiker box, because people are always losing stakes. So that's the color code and stakes.